weekend. Even Brad
Yes.
Grundy's pulling this weekend.
We're live. So Nathan, continue with that. Brad Grundy. I thought he was retired.
He is retiring.
Okay.
But
He has
he
scoliosis?
But he did make a commitment to pull a match this weekend prior to announcing him going into, his doctorate and his MD and stuff like that. So he is honoring his word and pulling this super match.
Who's he
Makes
pulling?
me curious. Who is he pulling?
Somebody out of Florida, one of the top guys in Florida.
Makes me curious, though.
Specifically, I don't remember his name. It's on the left.
If you know you're retiring and you're just honoring commitments, how motivated are you? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I agree. But I mean, he does. I mean, think about if you're going to be, a medical doctor, you kind of do need to start. I mean, it's a big thing to focus on, right? So, how Daniel Prokopchek managed to get his MD and become a orthopedic surgeon while doing everything at the same time is highly impressive. So,
Drinking paste. This right here is a Revita Energy Tea. Only available in Canada, as far as I know.
Oh, they get energy tea now?
I'm
Energy.
drinking.
Liquid. Oh, I just got coffee. So
I'm drinking tea as well.
Liquid Death got tea now? Man, I need to
This is
up my game.
this is the Dead Billionaire. It's the tea lemonade.
I don't drink anything that I think is going to kill me.
Well, it hasn't killed me yet.
It's coming.
Knock on wood.
All right.
But
Nicholas
with
Adams
that-
says, I don't think Brad will retire. I think he's just taking a break
He is.
on
Yeah.
his career. Unless it's true that it's making his scoliosis worse, then I can see him retiring and doing something that is more balanced from left to right.
I mean, you can't even be in the military with scoliosis, so. Yeah, they'll kick you out in boot camp.
I see. Well, where are we going to begin this weekend?
I know where you're going to start. Are we talking about the Global Elite first or what?
Well, we probably should. I'm in rest mode now.
Right.
I've got 2 grueling games of golf scheduled this week. Other than that, walking around, doing nothing, resting.
It's a hard life.
Well, and working.
We could
Don't forget
touch base on that. I know what the chat's going to want to hear. We'll get to that later. But
There's so
and
many
it's
events
coming,
going on
kids.
this weekend.
It's coming. We might have to boot Nathan out of here for that conversation. I don't know. He might not want to be part of the fallout that happens from that.
because I'm going to tell you, I'm about to get rated R so quick. But that's later in the show.
Superstar. But anyway, I don't know. We got Global Elite.
Then we also have the event in North Carolina or whatever it is that's happening.
Right. The Matt Mask versus Artem Ternenko. Left-hand match.
Yep.
When is that match with Uncle John and Paul Passmore?
This weekend.
I thought that was in Kentucky or something like that.
That's the event happening this weekend.
Oh, you said North Carolina.
It's whatever it is. Kentucky, North Carolina. It's one of those freaking It's one of those damn. It's one of those damn Eastern states. Right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious how to see that match goes. I don't know if is anyone going live with that. Do we know?
I don't know.
Brian Gabriel. I don't know about that. Matt, yeah, but Matt should win.
If Matt doesn't win, there's some questions, especially after his performance over what's his name at the Challenger Series.
Brad Grundy.
No, not Brad Grundy.
Oh.
I know. It's on the tip of my tongue. Why I can't think of it all.
I got so many names going through my dome right now. Yeah.
Wilton Brock. Thanks.
Wilton, thank you. Yes.
And Jody Harper, thank you for that. Pain Plant Arm Wrestling. Check out his handles; they're amazing. I've been using them a lot.
I saw Brian Shaw using them too.
The Brian Shaw one must be massive, and Jody makes those like
specifically
custom to size of someone's hand.
That's like 3 times the amount of 3D printed material right there.
Yeah. It really is. I want to make an announcement, though. I forgot about this, Jody.
Okay.
I hereby officially relinquish my Stronghold Arm Wrestling League Left Arm Super Heavyweight Championship. And I know I was playing around saying I'm keeping the belt, but I will be sending that back just so there's no extra hard feelings there. I'll send that belt back, and we'll leave it at that. Go ahead.
We could have had a match for it, and I could have just won it.
Yeah, I could have just put it up. I could have just defended it.
Mm-hmm. I would have won it. I mean, I'd have pulled you for it.
Yeah.
Alundra, Medusa in the garbage can, WCW.
Live.
Yeah.
One night later. Oh no.
Well,
Anyway.
I'm glad that's stress out of your life that you don't need. So it's unfortunate that it had to come down to that, but I get it. So, Well,
I mean, I could have held on to it. I would have needed to be offered a match and turn it down a couple of times in order to be stripped of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have no intention of defending it, I might as well let it go.
Right.
98%. How you doing? Where else?
Jody, are we making predictions on this weekend, you and I?
We can.
All right, so you and I. All right, let me grab a paper here.
Yeah.
I got my stuff. I'm all ready. After talking with Magna on my show yesterday, I'm excited.
Hold on. I'm grabbing a piece of paper. Okay, got one. Since it's just going to be me and Jody, it should be quick.
Yeah, just run it. You got the card in front of you, SB?
No, I can. Give me 1 sec here.
Yeah, pop the card up. I kind of have a good idea. Although,
there's a couple, you know what I mean?
We kind of touched base about some of those last week.
Yeah.
Like the RVJ match and Alan Ford. Like, it's hard when you don't see a person compete for a while. And then is there such thing as table rust? It's a catch-22 because on one end, you haven't competed in so long, it could be table rust. On the other end, you haven't competed so long, you might be well rested and ready to roll.
Yeah, I'm just saying this, though. This match with Alan Ford is going to be significantly easier. I don't want to say it's going to be an easy match, but easier than the match he's going to have with Nugo.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Well, here's the question I saw, or I'm thinking about in my mind. If Alan Ford beats him,
does Alan Ford get the match with
Does
Nugo?
He go on and pull Nugo? Do they pull it? I'm thinking not, because that's not generally how these things work, but you could make a case for it, couldn't you?
So before we go into our prediction, I got a question for you two and everybody in the chat. Do you think it's smart to plan matches in succession? Because if you got one match you're focusing on, but then you have another one already set, is that good or bad? Because if you come out and,
I can
drop
see
an egg, then it's like, does that take away from that?
I could see it both ways, right? I see it from that perspective of if you come out and just fall flat, then it's like, oh shit, what is he going to do for the next one? But I could also see somebody using it as motivation to go, well, I cannot lose this match because I have this one lined up, right?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, guys, I'm having trouble finding the match lineup. I had it here a week ago, and then I deleted it, and now I can't.
Oh man, you on the card? What the hell?
Well, I pretty much do them I can just do it by memory here. I don't have.
All right, we got it. RVJ and Allen, let's go.
I got the poster with everyone on it, so I'll just tell you what's what.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, okay, start with RVJ and Allen.
Jody.
Damn. Sometimes RVJ gets in his own head, but normally, because this is routine with RVJ, when he has time off to gather his thoughts and stay away from the arm wrestling world, he comes back motivated. So I'm saying RVJ wins 3-1.
I say RVJ wins as well, and I see that match ending up in Allen looking like this and fighting with the flop press. But that's not saying he can't win that match.
Right.
Okay. You guys cool with that one?
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
agree.
making predictions.
No,
I
you
don't need
can't.
the extra stress and drama that it would cause me to
Let's
go
go.
through
Let's
that.
go. Let's go. Ryan Espy and Metarengi Hedemorris.
Oh, come on.
You guys are predicting that one? What's the
Why
official
not?
prediction?
So I'm picking Ryan, but here's my one concern, Ryan. King's move, because we do know he has that. The question is, are you
If he
prepared for a
gets
King's
stretched
move?
out that far that he engages his
Yes.
King's move, it's going to be trouble anyway.
That's
him.
what I'm saying. I'm saying, does he have a sticky enough King's move to hold, not fully extended, but to like this point, that open like top rolly to hang you up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, it is left arm in the chat.
That's my only concern is like getting hung up here and him being like, because I've never really seen him left-handed that often, but him just being like uber sticky at the bottom, right?
Does he have enough stamina to I mean, yeah, people can be sticky here. Does he have enough stamina to hold on when Ryan's dropping 300 plus pounds on him like that? And is Ryan patient enough? Is the question.
To climb, position,
Mhm.
climb, position, climb, position, climb.
3-0 SB.
Nice.
We're just giving advice, We're looking out
I
for
know. You guys are wonderful at giving advice.
Well, come on, man.
I'm just being subtle about it,
3-0. Let's go.
Yeah, we both have Ryan on this one. It's going to be interesting to see when we start differing. Hi. We have the Ron Bath match.
Yes.
With Peter Kaichuk, is that how you say his name?
I don't know him, so I'm going with Ron.
Tough to go against Ron.
It is hard to bet against Ron, right? Jody, Ron, okay.
I think, honestly, we're going to have the same picks, if I'm being honest.
Then we have Angie versus Petra Dom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Petra's no joke.
She's coming off the podium at WAF Worlds, I believe. I think she took like second or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Come on. When you got Ron Bath and Angie in the same household, they're training together, that spells trouble for the opponents.
But the thing is, Petra is an animal. Like, Petra is really good and a really good technical arm wrestler.
Yes.
Like, and I honestly could see Petra winning this match, and I'm gonna go with Petra.
Go ahead. I'm going with Angie. Let's go.
All right, that's fine.
The intense.
We have some disagreements. Mike Gould versus Nick Stone.
Nick Stone.
With confidence.
Yeah. Yes. I just think Nick is just he's much bigger. And I understand that sometimes size doesn't mean nothing in the sport, but Nick's a big guy. And
yeah.
What did Mike Gould? Is he gaining weight back? I mean, at one point you just trained with him recently, right, Ryan?
Yep.
So where was he at? Do you remember?
I'm not letting the cat out of any bag here. I'm gonna just keep that to myself.
I think Nick's the favorite going into this match, right? I do, but I would like to see Mike give a really good showing and even win the match, if I'm being honest. So, but I do think Nick is the favorite.
Yeah, it was originally going to be Garvin Lewis was going to pull Mike Gould.
Really?
And it was Nick versus someone else. I can't remember who. And both of the opponents pulled out, and Magda put them together.
Garvin,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I definitely see, like I said, I think it's like a 75-25. But Nick, I mean, Mike's an old vet. I mean,
he's an old pro, man.
Can't put anything past him.
And I didn't know Garvin. Is Garvin still active? I didn't know he's still active.
Mike Gould was a reigning world champion the year that I started arm wrestling.
And I'm not taking nothing away from Mike. Trust me, I'm not. It's just,
LeBlanc versus Galzetto.
Oh, Yeah. Gazetto's been around the block for years, right?
Pulling WAF for quite a few years, man. Like longer than me.
That's
The
a
other
rough one. I
guys-
don't know who to pick.
I don't either. Should we just call that one a push?
We got to pick somebody, right?
You gotta pick.
All right, I'll take LeBlanc.
Interesting.
I'll pick Gazetto.
Gazzetto.
There you go.
That way we're not, that was a coin flip situation there.
All right, who have we gone through? So we know that the Danielle Evenson and Yulka match is postponed. Sorry,
due to visa issues.
But I had Magna on my show yesterday. That will be on the next one, early February in Europe.
In Europe, interesting.
Yes.
Ooh. Wow, whereabouts in Europe?
She won't
Poland?
let the cat bag on that one. So
Is it going to be Poland, which is strictly an IFA country? Just saying, just throwing that out there.
she never said
We don't
where
want to
she
go
is.
down that path yet. We're not going to segue yet.
No, not yet.
We got the most high-profile match on the card:
Cody Merritt?
Cody Merritt
Pavlo.
versus Pavlo.
Can I say this though? It's if Pablo stops Cody's hit, Cody's going to be in there for a grinder. I do think that
Cody does have a second hit that he can, if he gets any kind of looseness in there.
Yeah, I mean, I see this match possibly going two different ways, right? I see Cody just being way too much for Pablo early. And then, Cody just going right through him. Or I see it as Cody wins the first couple pretty quick, and then Pablo gets that stop. And then we're in for that war.
They're saying, like, if Cody gets the strap. I'll tell you what, if I can get the strap on Pablo, Cody can get the strap on Pablo. That match is going to the strap.
And I don't think people realize how fast Cody really is.
Right.
Cody is not a slow human being off the hit.
No.
He may be a big guy, but he has some fast twitch in there.
if you've seen his videos, it's just like it's whack. It's coming. So
I'm going just purely based upon Cody as of late. Cody as of late has looked damn good, right? We haven't seen Pablo on the left since his surgery. Like, doing lifts is one thing in the gym with a surgery, right? Getting cracked on a table is totally different. Like,
how will he handle that hit? Yeah,
exactly. You know, like I had the bicep reattachment, the shoulder completely cleaned up, and I can tell you, like, my gym lifts are significantly, like, they're heavier, I'm stronger physically, but I was shaking like a dog shitting peach cheese the first time I took that hit on the table, because I'm like, is this thing gonna hold up? You know what I mean? It's like, you always have that in the back of your mind. So
then we got this gentleman here, Sanka. Am I saying that right? Says Cody has to pull Corey so he can't lose. That's interesting. Well, we got two guys in that situation. We got RVJ with another match lined up, and you got Cody Merritt with another match lined up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you also have wasn't the card for King of the Table announced as well?
Was the whole card announced?
There were matches leaked out here and there, but I don't know.
Devin made a video about it.
Well, I mean, okay.
And he said he was cleared to renounce all the matches. So,
well, we'll get that. That's in December. Yeah. We can get to that whenever.
Yeah, well, that's a ways off.
But the reason I say that is that could have implications as well.
Oh, I mean, that cat, we already knew that was going to be on the card anyway. We already knew that.
Yeah. Next week's show is going to be an interesting one for us because
Knuckles Up.
The Knuckles Up predictions, and I will come out of there with a little bit more data. In one match in particular, Meadow Orangi has got a right-handed match at Knuckles Up against
was it Takanaka? or whatever. Not Takanaka. What's his name? God dang it! It's so hard to remember the names. I apologize.
Shishido.
Shishido. Thank you. Shishido. That's right.
Toshiyuki Shishido.
Toshiyuki. Yes. Son of a bitch. Shut up.
You're just gonna look like a huge racist now.
Shut up. Definitely not the case. Thank you, Ryan.
Oh man.
But I mean, I think, and I can't wait because I'm gonna be a part of that show too, by the way. So
have you made your pick on this match yet? You gotta make your pick first.
Oh, Cody.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Shut up.
Oh, I'm just
Shut
reading
up.
the comments section.
I don't even want to hear them. I don't want to hear them. Shut up.
Can't help it.
How many people we got in the chat, Ryan?
29 people.
And we are what, 21 minutes in now?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
So,
You're picking times. We're not ready yet. Don't leave yet, Nathan.
I'm not leaving.
Caution.
What are we talking about?
Because we are 21 minutes in, which means I got the free for all to fucking say what I want as I please. I know everybody in the chat's been waiting for this. Okay.
Whoa, Nathan, you don't have to go yet.
No. Look, I'm just sitting back and buckling in. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Soapbox time with your boy Chocolate Thunder. So, before I get into this, I want everybody to be aware this contains adult language, lots of it. So, if you cannot sustain what I'm about to say, now would be a good time to leave the show.
This might be like a 4-point tie-in here.
Yeah. So,
with a roll
Nathan, I'm giving you an out. If you feel like you don't want to be a part of this, by all means,
getting combat ready here.
Yeah, because after what happened yesterday and some of the comments that were made, it really hit a nerve, right?
Well, I know exactly who you're referring to with this because you did your live about it yesterday.
Yes.
How did we just get bumped up by like 6 or 7 viewers as soon as you said soapbox?
They all know what's coming. So, we all ready?
Fire away.
Let's get into it. So lately, we all know about the back and forth. It always seems to happen more during the worlds, right? So, Simon Barachilla, right? The guy that represents Team USA that goes to WAF, by the way. Okay?
Okay. I don't like this hat now.
He made a post, and I did some screenshots because I don't want to sit there and be taking stuff out of context. And he said that IFA is a rec league. Okay? Of course, they can do anything they want. Being a national level athlete comes with regulations. Now, first of all, that bugs me because me being an IFA athlete, I participated under an IFA umbrella, banner, if you will. When you say something like that, you're talking about me and all the athletes, not just North America. I'm talking about all the countries who participated underneath the IFA banner. So when those athletes end up winning a world title, right, you think that discourages them? You know what I mean? And by the way, what's fucked up about this shit is that I'm going, okay, so what about the people who won those old school WWC, those World Wrist Wrestling Championships that happen in Petaluma every year? And mind you, during the late 80s and 90s and stuff, when that was going on, if I'm not mistaken, WAF was still going on too. So are you going to discredit those guys like Alan Fisher, who has wrist wrestling world titles? Michael Todd, wrist wrestling world titles. Eric Waffel, wrist wrestling world titles. Hell, even Ingen has some wrist wrestling world titles. Are you going to discredit those guys too because they didn't win it underneath the WAF banner? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, so I really got a problem with that because now you're going to discredit everybody out there, you know. And he's even said before, well, if you don't finish 5th or 6th at a WAF competition, then I don't want you on my team. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Nobody wants to be on your fucking team If I'm not mistaken, let's go ahead and rewind back to the fucking USA Nationals that took place in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Mind you, if you saw the goddamn flyer, what was on that flyer? Does anybody remember? East versus West qualifier. Now, if your Nationals are so important and it's supposed to get you to a WAF Worlds, then that label should have never been on that flyer to begin with. Okay? Let's get that straight. Did you connect with a certain promoter who likes to throw a bunch of East versus West qualifiers that watered everything down, by the way? Do you want to do something like that just so you can get the numbers? Now, if your Nationals are so important, right, how come we still don't know the results? Corey Miller's been asking you over and over, dude, turn your results in. There's a fucking reason why. If you go back there, how many of those athletes had one, maybe two people, maybe three or four in their class, or a big chunk of them had uncontested? So you're going to sit there and say IFA's rec league? Motherfucker, half the people that went to Nationals that had a gateway to the WAF championships had one or two people, or they are uncontested. That's your fucking Team USA. You go officially fuck yourself. That's fucked up, because now you're going to disregard everybody who put the same amount of time, effort, commitment, and sacrifice into the sport for training to get to that level, and you just shot them down. Not only did you do that, but you shot down your own fucking country. Who the fuck does that shit? And let's just say, for sake of argument, that IFA doesn't work out. All those people, hey, you put that shit on the post, you can take it down. I screenshot the motherfucker. You said what you said. You can't unhear it now. You can't unsee it now. And that's all there is to that. That is bull fucking shit. By all means, someone step in, because my blood pressure is about to go to the fucking roof right now.
There's a lot.
Jody's turning red.
Yeah, ain't too many black guys that turn red, goddamn it. I'm turning right now. Okay?
Yeah.
I was just trying to bring some light, Jody.
There's, if you go back in time a little bit, there was two WAFs between 1998 and the early 2000s. One was arguably weaker than the other. Could I tell you for sure who? No, because back then I had an opinion. I don't even remember what it was, but I know there was a world champion crowned in the same weight class in two different organizations, and each of them had their highs, like they're talented athletes. I would argue that the smaller worlds back then actually had a lot more talent. You had the Neil Pickups, the Michael Barretts, the Yoshi Kanais, the Marcio Barbosas, all pulling at this little world championship in Thunder Bay, Ontario, that was formed in 1998. And they are the one that eventually prevailed. If you take a look at the team that is going, just take the USA, for example. By sheer numbers alone, Team USA to the IFA championships is a much stronger team than Team USA they went to WAF. I mean,
in specific weight classes, I'll agree with that.
In specific weight classes, yes, but in sheer numbers.
Well, yeah, numbers are not comparative.
Like, it's not even comparable. So I would argue, and this is a lot based on the leadership, which, by the way, is another issue I want to talk about in a sec, that the IFA is much, much stronger in North America than WAF is at the moment.
Yes.
And the only thing that is maintaining the WAF presence is the fact that they're affiliated with the organization that everyone seems to want to get to. Hey, Swedish with the 20 whatever currency is that. I'm
assuming $20.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going through this. Thank you, Kriege. Thank you, Sweden Arm Wrestling Television.
Hold on. I think for this, I'll be right back. For this conversation, I'm gonna need something else, guys. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
It's a messed up situation, but we got to keep fighting the good fight, because, if we're going to say that the WAF is going to carry us to the Olympics, the fact of the matter is they're probably not. There is way too much stuff going on for a niche sport to get in there when we're talking about all of this weird politics that gets posted everywhere. Yeah, IOC is not going to want anything to do with that, so don't give me that argument that that's our path. I don't think it is. We're talking about leadership of these groups. Let's talk about leadership. Can any one person in this chat or anyone who watches this video in the future tell me how the WAF affiliate in the USA gets elected to be the leader of that organization? Give me that information. Tell me how, please, for the love of God.
It's supposed to be a
While
vote,
we're
right?
at it, tell me how somebody is elected to the leadership of the Team Canada Arm Wrestling Federation. And while you're at it, tell me how the North American Arm Wrestling Federation elects their leadership. Please, Simon, tell me what years you were elected and who elected you. Because we're not talking about professional organizations anymore. We're talking about amateur organizations. And in order for those organizations to have proper board governance, there is an election that takes place. Now, are you elected by just you and your wife, Simon? Or is there someone else that shows up and casts a vote at these things? Because it doesn't seem like it would be that hard of an election to win at this time, based on the numbers that you had show up to support you.
Thought I might need my bulletproof vest for this one.
Take over for me while I think of my next points, guys.
Okay, so there's another post I want to, and this was on Leonard Harker's post. So y'all know Hector Beltran?
Yeah.
From Mexico. So he states, hey, IFA is the evolution of arm wrestling. I'm reading it, it's on Leonard's post. Simon replies, Hector, it's recreational arm wrestling. It has done nothing but fail since its inception. 2 of the 3 founding members have already left. Poland is the only legitimate national organization. IFA competes with no real Kazakhstans, no real Georgians, no real Turkish, and no real Sweden people. How could anyone see this as a real world championship? So again, let me ask you this. 67 athletes registered for Team USA to go to Greece at the end of the month. 133 entries. Now, does anybody know the number of USAs that went to WAF World? And I'm not knocking them, but do we know the number? Because I'm going to tell you what it is. Anybody know?
Well, I mean, okay,
like
but here's the rebuttal. I'll get to that, Jody. And
go ahead.
It's when you pull at IFA Nationals, you automatically qualify for Worlds, regardless of placement.
Yeah.
So anybody can go, show up, not even try to pull, go 0-2 and say, well, I qualified for Worlds.
Yeah,
I understand that IFA is still very new. What, they're like in their 5th or 6th year, right? So they're trying to build their numbers progressively at Worlds. Understandable. You have to do that in order to establish something, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The difference is when you have weight classes and you're only taking top 2, your numbers are definitely going to be significantly lower. Right?
Well, how come that wasn't ever an issue 10 years ago? Because they promoted it. He doesn't promote his nationals until the month before, so no one even knows.
Okay, but if you say 10 years ago, you don't have the divide between IFA and WAF. So your national there was one national. Right now, hold on. In the United States right now, there's like 87 nationals. Like it seems like every freaking organization has one, right? Yeah. Which is completely absurd.
Yeah, I agree.
So what is defined as nationals now? Well, we don't know because everybody seems to freaking have one, right? So it's you can't pinpoint. Well, this is why. Like I said, the reason your numbers are always going to be significantly larger for an IFA Worlds from the United States, is there is sponsorships that people do get for placing first at the IFA Nationals that allow you to a little bit of money to go to Worlds. That's going to motivate people to go there, right? There isn't that as far as I know when you go to a WAF Nationals, right? So if you can get a sponsorship or you're wealthy, well, we use that example. It's easier for you to go to IFA than it is to go to WAF. Yeah. That's inevitable, right? So it's not comparing apples to oranges, in my opinion. Like you have to look at them as 2 different entities, as in one is growing while one is still there. And with the divide, there's a lot of shit that's said that isn't necessarily good for the public eye. And I think the people behind both, lenses need to do a better job about not putting stuff out to the public. You know what I mean? People like to act like freaking children for some reason on social media, which I don't understand. And then
I'm guilty of that because I went on my rant yesterday. So,
and here's the thing that I absolutely can't stand. This is just me personally. Notice I put the bulletproof vest on because I figure I'm going to get some fucking shots fired at me, and I'm okay with that. The people that have an opinion that have never gone to a Worlds or have no desire to go to a Worlds, whether it be IFA or WAF,
right,
really should just shut up. Because if you don't have the desire to go to X or go to Y, why are you speaking? Like in reality, like you have no skin in the game, right? Zero. So, like, you see these people that are just absolute internet trolls that are like, "Oh, I'm gonna start some shit today because I see this," right? Just shut up. Like, and honestly, just shut up. Because like you're content with being where you're at, which is completely fine. But there's no need to go kick the damn hornet's nest for no freaking reason when you have no desire to go to IFA Worlds or WAF Worlds, right? You're gonna have your people that are diehard wanting to go to WAF. Cool, respect it. You're going to have your people that are wanting to go to IFA. Cool, that's your prerogative, respect it. Luke Polster, in my opinion, said it best. He said that people want to go where they want to pull. You have that option. Nobody's holding the gun to your head and saying you have to go to WAF or you have to go to IFA. No, nobody says that. So when people said, "Oh, we want to be able to choose," well, you can choose. Just make your decision. But once you make said decision, just understand that if you choose to go one route over the other, you may be a little restricted. Cool, whatever. Yeah. But with that being said, nobody forced you to go there. So these people harping about, I want to be able to do this, and this. Well, you can do that. Like, I don't understand why there's such an issue with saying that.
Miss Angela Thunder, to answer your question, I have seen the band list. I have too. It was an old version of it, but I saw it, and there were several Canadians on it. Based on the fact that they simply went to IFA championships.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, and Jocelyn says Jocelyn's point is excellent, and I gave this advice. Like, you had Peyton Pickering on your show, Jody.
Yeah.
A while back, or just recently.
Yep.
And her father messaged me at one point and said, "What should I go to? Which Worlds?" I said, "Well, if you want to experience WAF, go to WAF first, because once you go to IFA, that's a whole lot harder." So she did. She went to WAF. Maybe she'll keep going to WAF. It's her choice. The problem is she's a world level competitor. Clearly she is, because I believe she got a silver medal.
Yeah, she took silver right hand.
Yeah.
What, in the U18, right? I think it was.
Yeah.
Right. But she'll progress, and she will
of course.
the senior division or the juniors, then the senior division, and she'll probably continue to medal. And Dan Plexman, I did see your name. But anyway, as we go through this, she can now continue to go to WAF, but the problem is, as a world level competitor, she makes the decision to go experience IFA. Things get difficult to come back. And then you can come back with a pardon or whatever it is. Then if you want to do it again, that's a lifetime ban, according to Asen.
Well, here's the thing, and I'll put this on record. As of now, 39 minutes into the show on September 3rd, 2024 at 9:40 a.m. West Coast time, I will go on to say this. As of right now, from a world standpoint, what's the better competition? I know this. I'm not stupid. It's WAF. I get it. But all this hula hoops you got to go through to get to that is mind-boggling. Now, in my personal opinion, this is where people may start to disagree. As the years progress, I think IFA will get better. And I do hope at some point we say, okay, the training wheels are coming off now. Now you got to have top 2 or top 3 to qualify for IFA Worlds instead of just letting everybody come in. I do admit that. Once that happens, I think that'll get better too. I just think we're still in the early stages of trying to, plan this whole thing out.
Yeah, it's
And
still
I'm
in
not-
infancy, right?
Right.
It's still very much in it.
And I'm not trying to say that, hey, guys, don't go to WAF, come to IFA. I am not saying that at all. Like Jocelyn said, Ryan, Nathan, myself, Luke Poster, whoever, just know that, okay, if you, whatever side of the fence you play on, whatever is this side, if it's WAF, then okay. I'm not saying don't do it. I just don't like the way they're doing things and how they're treating their athletes.
And you have an excellent point. I used to say that the IFA would be much larger if they would get rid of the come to us because we're not them sales pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And now Simon has gone down the path of saying they're a rec league. Simon could have said that in a much more diplomatic manner and gotten a lot more success out of his post. He could have made a statement like WAF is still the hardest tournament in the world to win. WAF is still the gateway to the elites. All of these things wouldn't have offended the other side.
Yeah, 100%.
And he could have said them, and people would have probably maybe even considered those too. But the path that WAF has taken is to do this heavy-handed stuff, which is effective clearly in other countries. But North Americans don't like that very much.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally different, right, for North America because, like, foreign countries like Guyana and places like that that are trying to fall under the WAF banner now do pay their athletes. Whereas in the United States, you're not getting paid.
Right. And that's the thing.
So you have your choice, right? And that's the same that, you know, so we arguably have more freedom in the United States to pull where we want to pull, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in other countries, they don't have said option, right? They're defined under one entity, and they have to respect what that entity says, especially being paid.
Yeah.
And you cannot ever tell me and expect me to believe that Engen doesn't play some small role in all of this, because there's an awareness piece, there's a communication piece, and there is a role that is being played. He, and this would be my advice to him, not that he cares to hear it, should be a lot more like Dana White and just not pay attention to everything everyone says, because it is not always worthy of a response.
I could probably follow the same advice, Ryan, if I'm being honest. But
well, he gets himself in so much more shit when he responds to things.
I was gonna say, I think we're all guilty of getting a little too hot under their collar and just, you know.
Well, to say somebody is an enemy of
tangents.
the sport, to say like weird things like, and to say that everything that you don't agree with me makes you an enemy of the sport is just crazy.
Oh, but there's more, SB and Nathan. There's more, because on another post that Simon put out, he offered a wager. He offered a bet. I will pay people $1,000 to have the WAF World Senior, right, which is the open class, in each weight class. First of all, the weight classes are different. So bonk, strike one, okay? And then he wants to go an IFA champ versus the WAF champ. Strike two, because if you fucking did that, you'd be fucking banned anyway. Bonk. So strike two right there. That ain't going to solve anything, okay? You take the IFA world champion versus the WAF world champion in the same weight class, which is not, because they're two different weight classes, by the way. That's not going to solve anything. It's not. And who the fuck has $100,000 or where the fuck he said?
Well, I mean, I think that could have been handled better as well, right? Like Brian said. With saying, you know,
he presents a scenario that you're right, Jody, can never happen, because if you all of a sudden all those WAF athletes would be banned because they're competing against IFA athletes.
Yeah. But like you said, Ryan, that definitely could have been handled better by going back and saying the path to the elite is WAF. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
arguably the harder competition is WAF. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think either one of us are going to sit here and say, I don't think any of us sit here that say at 110 kilos, I don't think anybody was on the same level as Reno Masick at Worlds. Like, that dude is an absolute freak of nature.
We're not stupid. We know talent when we see it. The names. We're not stupid. But it's like, you know, like, dude, I mean, what the fuck? What Simon should do is get a hold of all the people who competed in when the WAF split into two. And for those that don't know, it was WAF and WAF, meaning that one was World Arm Wrestling Federation and the other one was World Arm Sports Federation. Two WAF and they split. What Simon needs to do is get a hold of those people and talk to them and go, okay, what happened when we all got back together? That's because at some point they split for like 7 years, and then they got back together. Find out what happened there and maybe implement that shit. Because honestly, there's a fraction of me.
Oh, they didn't get back together.
Well, one died.
One died.
One killed the other. Yeah.
But my point being is that there's a fraction of me that want to say, "Fuck it." I don't want a world title at all if it's going to be like this. But the fact that
what ultimately is happening, in my opinion, Jody and Ryan, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like we're especially in the United States, actually primarily in the United States. And I'm not even including Canada in this. So that's why I didn't say North America. Is they're creating? You have promoters creating more divide than anything else, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and that's not.
Oh, could you highlight that?
Let's make the high five. They're never trying to create a divide.
No.
And they have been so overly nice.
What are we highlighting, Jody?
90%. Simon piss tested someone. Can you highlight that so everybody can see? Simon piss tested someone at Nationals and told him to put water in the cup.
But the thing is,
that's your team captain.
But see, here's the thing. I'm not trying to defend this. I'm not trying to defend anything, right? But that's secondhand information. Were you physically there watching it? No. But
there's a guy who actually saw it who went there.
Okay, but I said,
he's got to be the guy that comes here.
Yes, he has to be the person coming out and saying, "I physically saw this." I don't trust secondhand information. I'm sorry, I never have and never will.
I mean, I'll go aside from that. Yeah, for sure.
How bullshit the bands are. Dave Shell, right, pulls in the Grand Senior, Ultra, Grand Masters, wherever the fuck, He pulled IFA Worlds in 2021, the same year I went. He purposely went to USA Nationals to see if he would get banned. He wanted to see, okay, I'm going to see if they're going to ban me. There were a couple guys on the poster that went to IFA Nationals. We're on that flyer.
Hold on. So you said he went to both Nationals?
He said, Dave Shell, he went to IFA Worlds, right, in 2021.
Sorry, I misheard you. I apologize.
He went to Nationals purposely to see if he would have got banned. And nothing happened. So I'm like, okay, well, what's all this ban? If you're going to ban, hold your word at least. But if it benefits them for the numbers, it's okay. But if you go somewhere else, then that's when you get the phone call and the text message, hey, if you do this, you're going to get banned. And if he goes to your event, he doesn't ban you, then he basically called your bluff.
I said this once in the past, and I think it still rings true, is if WAF stopped banning people and they just operated like a normal world organization, there would not be a need for IFA anymore.
Right.
If they removed the tyranny and all of the stuff that tried to hurt other organizations, WAF is almost directly responsible for the creation of IFA, and they're responsible for the health and continuance of IFA based on their own practices and people wanting an alternative. Because if I'm being honest, I don't think the IFA leadership has done a tremendous job either, but they exist despite themselves. They continue on. If they had a more aggressive campaign towards growing their organization, and I think they would be very successful, because I don't think WAF is going to change, because what they're doing works in European countries, just doesn't work over here.
Yeah, I think they're catered to two different sides of the world, right? I think IFA is kind of more catered to the United States side of things, because if you look at the nationals in the United States, IFA Nationals was significantly larger, right? It was 600 some people maybe.
Well, here's the other thing. Canadian Nationals was massive.
Yeah.
And
actually,
908.
We qualified the athletes for nothing beyond the Canadian Nationals.
That was something I wanted to say, Ryan. I think this is not me attacking Canada, but I think it's really stupid that Canadians who want to pull WAF have to go to another country to qualify for WAF.
There you go.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future as far as that goes.
Because for this, I think for next year they have to go to like I don't remember where it's at exactly, but they have to go.
Mexico?
No, it's not Mexico. It's I don't remember right off the top of my head. I've heard it like 8 times and still can't remember because I'm dumb. But yeah, you have to go to another country.
It was Mexico City that they went to.
That was this year. I'm talking about next year.
I don't know what it is next year.
Next year, it's further south, basically.
Oh God.
So it's probably like a 5.5 hour, 6 hour flight from Toronto to qualify for WAF Worlds. Now, why is it somebody has to go to a country that they are not representing?
Mars and Uranus.
To pull an event to qualify them to represent their country in Bulgaria. Makes no sense to me.
Well, no, it doesn't, and I don't know what exactly the process will be. I do not really communicate with that group. I'm sure it will evolve into another national championships in Canada somewhere at some point, maybe.
Why, see, that leads me back to this point. Why does there have to be a national championship for each organization? Why can't there be a quote-unquote national championship, and then you have an IFA world qualifier, a WAF world qualifier? Makes a hell of a lot more sense to me. Like, you can still have your national. Cool. And then you still have your qualifiers. Like, why?
It almost makes me wonder to myself, do I even want a national title at this point?
They're so watered down in the United States. Like, I'm sorry. They really are.
The Canadian national still means something. And it's
it does.
Something.
Yeah.
Like, you still have the best in Canada showing up to compete at that event.
I think the 2 biggest events that have the most prestige right now in the country of Canada are your Canadian Nationals and the Ottawa Open.
Well, that's easily true, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
a close third would be, as far as size goes, would be the Quebec Provincials. They had 600 athletes.
Yeah, that was massive. But I'm saying, like, on a prestige level, you know what I mean?
On a prestige level, the Ottawa Open and the Nationals would be the 2. It used to be the Mike Gould Classic, and that kind of stopped, and then...
And hats off to Eric Roussin for that, because what he's doing with the Ottawa Open, amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm almost at a point where, I'd rather have an Arnold title.
Yeah.
Because
guys, I'm going to dip for 35 seconds. I'll be right back.
I think we can hold the fort down for 35
I'm sure
seconds.
You can. Jody,
Just what tournaments are more prestigious? I'd rather have that now because it's like, okay, there's no controversy.
Yeah, like I said, the United States. I think the United States, we are our own worst enemies. Right?
Yep.
Like, we don't understand that sometimes using your voice does more harm than good.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's or not taking a step back and assessing the situation before we make said comment. Right? And I think that's why I said I think both sides of your IFA and your WAF leadership in the United States are equally as guilty in doing so. Nobody's innocent in this. I'm not going to say this side's innocent, this side's innocent, this side did bad, this side did bad. Right. They're both not doing great. I'm sorry. Like, they both need to step back and assess said situation differently. And and I'm not even going to say let cooler heads prevail, but just like, why engage it? Like, there's no reason to engage. If nobody's attacking you on a personal level, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it'd be different if I'm coming out and saying, Jody's this, Jody's that, yada, yada, yada. Then I would expect you to be like, and defend yourself, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm attacking your organization, right? Like, and it's really having zero effect on you. Obviously, if we look at numbers statistically, the IFA Nationals compared to the USAF Nationals was significantly larger, right? There's no arguing that. Cool.
The thing is why I responded the way I did yesterday.
No, I'm not knocking you for that. I understand why you responded the way you did because you felt as if it was a personal attack. Completely understandable.
But it goes deeper than that, though, Nathan. It's like, okay, now you offended not only North America, but all the countries underneath that ban. But you're also attacking people that who want to pull for you one of these days, and now you're making it seem like you guys are nothing. You guys are below us and stuff. I'm like,
No,
we do just as much as those guys do as far as training, sacrificing family time and whatnot for this sport that we blood, sweat, and tears. We all do the same thing.
No, I don't disagree with you on that at all. That's why I said I think that should have been handled significantly different. I think Ryan and I both said that, right?
Yeah.
Like instead of saying, "Oh, they're the minor leagues" or however you want to put it, say coming out and saying, the path to the elites is through WAF. I don't think anybody's going to object to that whatsoever. Right. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any debating said topic. That's why I said I think both sides need to assess the way they come out and put things publicly instead of just speaking in general about the first thing that comes to said mind when it comes to leadership.
Right.
Dan Plexman, Slamfest in Thunder Bay. That looks
oh yeah, there's a couple. There's one in Picton this weekend as well.
November for Slamfest. It looks like it's gonna be big payouts, he says. I'm looking forward to that. December you got December coming up. December. The Arnold qualifier right here in Manitoba.
Ain't that a qualifier of yours?
Yeah.
There's a lot of big stuff coming up. I mean, we do have Knuckles Up, not this weekend, but in 3 weeks, right? On the 20th.
No, next weekend.
It's a week.
The 14th, next weekend.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So we have Knuckles Up this month. Right. Whether people want to support it or not, I'm still going to say it. Then we have King of the Table coming up, which has some amazing matches on it that Devin put out. If you haven't watched Devin's video, I mean, it's a good video. Go watch it. It explains all the matches. It's going to be a good time. I think it's going to be a great card. Like, there are some really good North Americans pulling in it too. So,
Jay Clean, Picton, Ontario, and the Picton Ranch in BC are two very different places.
I'm sorry. I'm not Canadian. Don't judge me, Jay Clean.
And I got to put this out there. So, Winter Blast coming up. They had 500 and some odd entries this past March, earlier this year. And they're going to have another one, and Armguards they're going to come and bring their guys over. So I can only imagine how many entries are there. But that's also going to be an Arnold qualifier for 2026. So
I'm still on the fence on Armed Gods. I'm not going to lie.
I think the matches are great. Just if you got rid of gimmick matches, it'd be a lot better. But that's just me, and I don't want to even go down that rabbit hole because I've been there so many times.
Bring it on. Bring on the gimmicks. I want to see the electroshock match.
Oh, come on. I'll turn that fucker off. They do that stuff, But
that was the next one that was supposed to happen. Some kind of electroshock thing.
Electrified pads.
Yeah.
What about it? What else is going on this weekend? We have Artem and Matt Mass this weekend.
Yep, we got Paul Passmore versus Uncle John
on the left. Yeah.
That's all in that. That's the same event. That's in Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a big weekend.
Yeah, so feel free.
Do we still know if that one's being live streamed or not?
I'll have to ask. I have to ask around
because I'm watching. Obviously,
Colorado State.
Is that this weekend? Yeah, that is this weekend. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's some super matches going on there.
Right. This weekend, right, Ryan, the 98% qualifier, because you and Magda kept talking about wanting each other to change the date.
What happened?
That's
on them.
It's coming up this weekend, I think. The Arnold's qualifier from the 98% guys, and they're competing with the Global Elite event.
And I'm also thinking, well, okay, so here's the thing. I mean, what is the exact? Can I ask a question about that? What is the exact issue with that?
I don't see where there's an issue. I mean, one's a tournament, one's a super match card. It's kind of apples.
That you have to be invited to.
Yeah, it's kind of apples. It's kind of like comparing a fucking rutabaga to an orange, like in my opinion. But
I don't know.
Hey, Passmore's in the house. He's under his wife's name. But hey, Paul, do you know who's going live with your event on this coming Saturday?
I want to see. Never mind.
What do you want to see?
I want to see Paul and Robbie pull again after their unfortunate issue with the last time they pulled.
Talking about Burnett?
Yeah.
What was the unfortunate issue? All right. Yeah. Jesus, Robbie's bad for hurting people, eh?
Well, you did it to yourself, technically.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow.
So funny story, Ryan. Practice on Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah. Robbie's like, I need some work on my bicep. I said, all right, hold my beer. I'll press you. Yeah, that hurt.
Well, it didn't hurt me.
It hurt my bicep, not my tricep, though.
I didn't feel a thing.
I bet you didn't. But you know what it feels like to do said move?
Sure do.
It doesn't feel great.
Yeah. Sure do. 42 live people, and just in time for us to leave.
No. Anything else happening this weekend that we know of?
That's enough.
NFL season kicks off this weekend.
Oh, come on. Don't wait. Come on. We've been, yes. Can't wait. Got my fantasy team all situated. Half the guys I didn't draft on my own because I couldn't log in. So,
Three-peat.
Oh, okay. Well, since we're doing that, hold on. We're doing that now?
Three-peat. Don't you throw a Bears hat on?
No.
Okay,
No.
Like, if you get on that freaking bandwagon of that bullshit.
Every arm wrestler in the world should be supporting the Bears.
This is my team, Nathan, right here.
You should. Well, I'm sorry.
No, they didn't sorry about that.
Got a washed up Russell Wilson as your starting quarterback.
Hey, we haven't had a losing season in what?
This will be the first one, don't worry.
14, 15 years? Nah.
Hockey season's going to kick off. Hockey season kicks off soon, too.
Well, yeah, that's important.
That is important.
Yeah.
And by the way, we play you guys on Christmas Day, by the way.
You're going to lose, by the way.
Nah.
We want to put a 20 on it?
Yeah, let's do that.
Deal.
You guys sound like that other show that I listen to once in a while.
Which one?
What's that?
50% football. Gobby and his Darren Bills.
He's been starting some shit online too, hasn't he?
I don't even want to go down that path because
I'm just saying he has.
He has, and
we won't go into details, but boy, howdy, has he kicked the hornet's nest a time or two.
Well, yeah.
This is common. He lays down for 4 or 5 years, resurfaces, starts shit, threatening to get his ass kicked, and he goes into hiding for another 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the shit he's been saying this time is definitely, yeah.
Well, it's out there. It's out there.
Oh yeah, it's you can find it if you want to.
How about I tell you off the air?
All right, let's sign off on this one, but hang around for a few minutes.
So I think this is going to be commonplace. So if I have to take shots from people, I'm protected, guys. So
there you go.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Just a piece of information before we go, and we'll close on this. Mason Drosy is the same weight class as Corey Miller at IFA Worlds. Mason for the repeat champion.
That's a tall freaking ask right there. I'm sorry, because Corey right now is wow.
Do not.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying based upon the way Corey felt last time I gripped up with him. When he gained all that weight, when he got up to close to 200 pounds, and now he's coming back down to 83 or whatever it is, he feels like a different Corey.
Here's what I think. How's Corey Miller going to WAF when Corey is?
He's not going to WAF.
Oh, they're both at IFA. They're both at IFA. Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Misunderstanding here. Corey did officiate at the WAF qualifier though as a band athlete. I understand.
See,
but
they got no problem using the software. Go figure.
Mason and Corey. I'm going to say that Mason takes that match.
I'm saying Mason better.
And I hope they have a war so that someone from a certain organization in New Jersey or possibly Toronto take notice of those two and maybe set that match up.
It's not. Mason has to stop that hit, which is going to be hard as can be.
Ah,
Because that hit hurts.
yeah. You know what else hurts?
What
When it gets stonewalled.
it does. But I mean, even Giannis couldn't stonewall it.
Giannis,
Giannis
Talking about
had
the
to
Arm Wars match?
some Latvian guy.
Yeah, that Latvian guy.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next week when we talk about my victory and the high five.